This is our chop saw. And we'll have it out. The handle is up here. You'll pull it down. The power switch is here, on and off. And you'll see it in operation in a second. But to figure out how to use it, we've got to actually make a measurement of something we're going to cut. We're going to be using this to make a drawing, a part that actually has 3 parts to the drawing. It's going to end up being 2 pieces of angle screwed together. You're going to cut a clearance hole and a tap hole, and the first thing to do is to make these 2 parts, angle A and angle B, out of material that will be out here near the chop saw. So you've got to measure them. It says that they need to be 3 inches long. One way, of course, is to measure it with a ruler, and there may be a ruler out here somewhere so that you can mark it. It's got to be contaminated. You have a great gauge to measure 3 inches, and that's your digital caliper. I'm going to set it at 3 inches, lock it down. It's a little over 3 inches, but that's okay. It's very rough measurement. You could measure it from here. If you set this part of the caliper there, then this part right here is whatever distance that is. So I've got that. Going to mark it. You could also mark it with this dimension, a little harder to get to, but that is also going to be 3 inches. Now I'm going to move it out the full 6 inches because this is a 6-inch caliper, and when I have it at the full length, I can make this mark for the second part of it. And I've got my 2 dimensions marked off for that. There and there. Now I may, because of the way we're going to have to put this into the machine, I'm going to make those marks on a different part of the surface so that I can see where it's going to go. Now, this chop saw, very heavy-duty chop saw. Now I'm going to put my gloves on, get flammable stuff out of the way. Has got a device here that holds the material in place. I'm going to line this up and there's a space here. You can figure out where the saw is going to cut. This space, put your marked spot halfway in between the 2 big blocks here, and you'll be all right. But you can't just hold it. This chop saw is too powerful for that. You've got to lock it down, and this chain connected to a hydraulic cylinder is the trick. And if I push this handle down, this chain tightens up and holds this piece in where it cannot move. Do not stick your finger under this chain when you're messing with this, because it will break your finger just as much as it will hold that piece of steel in place. So lock it down, make sure it's in place. Now we're ready to go. Gonna turn on the power, and very, very important that you're wearing safety glasses with this. And here we go. think you see why I suggested safety glasses. Require them. Let's cut the second piece. You have to keep pulling down. Here are my two pieces. When it comes to this point, this guard is heavy enough to hold the rest of the machine, so you have to pull it down a little further past that, and it slides up under there. Okay, let me show you the next step for making this part.